So I get asked quite a lot by, could be customers or people walking past. Um, Once I think I had a phone call, another guy that wanted to do car valeting, and he's asking a few sort of generalised questions. So I thought I'd do a bit of a Q&A. So one thing I get asked quite a lot, one of the top things is car valeting a hard job? It is hard in the sense that you work for your money. Nothing really seems to come easy. It's just, I think it's just how it is in the summertime. Some people say, oh, it must be lovely working out in the sun, but in the summertime, when it's really hot, when it gets stupid too hot, it can take a toll on your body. It's happened to me a few times where you're so hot you feel like you're going to pass out. So that can be, and obviously washing cars in when the panels are really hot, and especially if you're in a sort of hard water area as well, it just sort of creates extra work. And it does take a toll on the body a little bit. And also in the winter time, you're working on freezing motors. It takes a little bit longer to do. It's also your joints. It just takes its toll. So it's hard for them sort of reasons. And you're also, if you get busy, you always seem to be going around at 200 mile an hour trying to get all the work done. But it's just how it is. What's the other question I get asked quite a lot? Oh yeah, that's it. Can you earn a lot of money car valeting, cleaning cars? You can, 100%. Obviously if you've got the work, but to earn, really what you need to do is in the summertime when you've got the longer daylight hours, is take advantage of that. Go out when it's early as you can and start until as late as you can. But you've got to have the determination, the willpower, and be sort of super positive about it, and you can definitely 100% earn quite a lot of money. But it don't come easy, and you've got to work for it. What's running? That's it. Another thing, setup costs. I get asked quite a lot about that. So if you're just starting out, you know, you can, if you could get maybe a van that's got cost you £1,000, and by the time you take into account sort of like your insurances, road fund license, MOT, and fuel, all the equipment and products you need. I mean, you probably could do it on about £3,000, maybe a little bit less, but that would be sort of like the cheaper end equipment, which is all fair and well when you first start out, but when you when you sort of go from maybe one job every couple of days to then maybe doing two or three a day, certain equipment, cheaper stuff just does not last. I mean, never had issues with hoovers, but it's mainly the generator and pressure washer and the shampooer, believe it or not. So when you start having to do a lot of work, you're better off to get better equipment that way. I mean, obviously it's going to go wrong at some point, but it's not always about the better equipment, because I say it will go wrong. It's when if you got quite a bit of work booked in, so like you got a couple of two full valets a day for 3 days, and your shampoo goes down and you need it to do them vehicles. It's the cost of what you might lose work wise for could outweigh the cost of the shampooer. So I mean, what I'd try to do, what I've always tried to do, is when I've had a bit of spare money, I've sort of bought backup hoover, backup shampooer, backup pressure washer. Maybe not as good as the ones that I use day in and day out, but just so I've got something to fall back on, so that I can get the other equipment replaced or repaired. Which is, if you start getting busy, you're better off to do that, because otherwise you end up losing quite a bit. What else do I get asked? Oh yeah, bugbears with this job. I think sometimes it's when customers ring up and they say, yeah, it's not that bad, and you go to their vehicle and and it's really, really bad. I think a lot of the time it's just purely down to, which I think it is for the customer. It's been a gradual build up over sort of months, years even. So to them, it's not that bad. So it's just educating the customer, you know, just to say it's going to take a little bit longer. And once you sort of get past that point, that's sort of like half the battle, you know, because you need to sort of, how I work it is, I sort of go along with minimum wage, a little bit extra on top. Then obviously I need to cover my running costs. So I've got from prices, and that's where the from prices come into, where I know I've got to do extra work, and it's just educating the customer. That's all, you know. It's the best way to deal with it, really. And if you can't agree with a customer, if the car's really bad and you know you can't agree, just walk away. I know it sounds a horrible thing to say, but at the end of the day, it's business, and you need to be on at least minimum wage, depending on how old you are. You know, otherwise it's a lot of wear and tear on you and your equipment. What else? I think working in winter time is a bit of a pain because you have to take so much stuff off your van. You know, anything with water in it, especially if it's sort of like freezing, below freezing conditions, you know, water just will break everything. You leave your pressure washer filled up, it'll break if it freezes. Same with all your chemicals. Some of them are, you know, where you've got the dilution and you have to put water in, you just crack the bottles. So it's a bit of a pain in the winter time, having to drag everything out and empty the tank and pressure washer and all the water lines. Summertime is just the heat for me, really. It don't. That's about the only thing, really. Weather can be a bit of a, with the rain. Rains quite a lot over here in the UK, so you do lose a few days a year to the rain. Can be a bit annoying when you get halfway through a job and it rains and you have to go away and then come back and start again. Not everybody. I try to say to the customer, if the weather's looking a bit funny, I'll say, well, look, you know, I can start it, but I'll have to charge you for what I've done, because if you're busy, you know, you might not be able to get back to them for a week, and perhaps they've used the vehicle. So, you know, if you have to start again, it's, you know, it's just one of them things. But you need to get paid for what you're doing, even if you think you might not finish. Yeah, health wise, yeah, it's hard on your body, hard on your joints. Working outside as well in the sun. I mean, it's not just car valeters, but anyone that works outside in the sun, whether you know, do sort of landscaping or building, roofing, car valeting, car detailing, whatever it may be. You know, I've suffered, I've had skin cancer 3 times now, and it was quite brutal, because it does quite a lot of the type that I had. Sorry, it does a lot of damage to your skin and bone. So I had to have a lot of stuff done and skin grafting, all sorts. And it was just a time off of work as well. You know, I'm not saying it's going to happen to everyone that works outside, but it's just a fact that it can happen. You know, and it did to me 3 times. It's just, you know, I'm prone to it now, I believe. I think that's what the consultant said, but it's just one of them things. Just got to try and stay positive and get on with it. What else do I get asked? Oh yeah, that's it. What affects car valet? Well, it's a luxury service for one, so a lot of things in the world can change people's minds about spending. You know, they can cut back on something, and car valeting cleaning is one of them. You know, it's a bit like the fuel. When we've had sort of fuel shortages and what's been going on over the last couple of years, yeah, if people, you know, need to cut back, car valeting generally can be, you know, definitely one of them. I've gone from being absolutely busy where there's not enough hours in the day and days in the week, to then it just going absolutely quiet. And you know, when you think about what's going on, and it's a lot of it is to do with that, is people just, you know, people panic, they get, you know, think, oh, I better stop spending out on certain things, and it's generally luxury items or luxury services is the first thing that that they cut back on. So yeah, that can be, it can be disheartening. Yeah, I understand why people do it, but you know, when you're busy and then you go dead, you're like, oh my god. So that part of it. But then I suppose even if you work for somebody, you your job's not 100% guaranteed, really, is it? When you think about it, I've worked for companies before where big companies as well, sort of well-known companies, you know, where you think you're sort of secure job-wise, and then a couple of days, you know, it's happened to me, you know, get made redundant, or yeah, that's it, you know. So it's, yeah, a bit of a negative, that one. But I think, well, also working for yourself, though, the pluses about it is you're in more control of what's going on. I mean, the self-employed part, working for yourself, is good, you know, although it's very, you have to work quite hard, long days, 7 days a week if you can. Well, I do. You know, you never, sometimes it feels like you're never having a day off, but most of the time, not always, but sort of finishing early-ish, and at least you can stop when you want. If you know, if you decide, that's it, I've had enough, I'm going to stop today and go home, and maybe, you know, get home a bit early, have a break, sort of thing. So it's good for working yourself, self-employed that way. I think that's probably, yeah, the majority of things I get asked. So yeah, and also sort of the work. I mean, a lot of the with car valeting, it depends on you know, the area, the sort of cars, customers. You know, some valeters go into detail and they seem to get on all right. Some people just stick with the car valeting. It's end of the day, it's a job. You know, and if you're prepared to work and get on with it, you know, you can make a living out of it. You know, you're never ever gonna become, you know, sort of well off, I don't think. I'm just speaking for myself, I suppose. Because quite often when you do get ahead with a lot of stuff, then, you know, something happens, and then you know, you have a couple of weeks off work where nothing's going on, or a month. You know, it sets you back, but it's like that with a lot of jobs, I suppose, especially when you're self-employed. It's just, it is what it is. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you out in some way and give you a bit of an insight into car valeting if you're deciding to maybe think about doing it. Please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Please consider subscribing. It would help the channel loads. I'm trying to build the channel to get 1,000 subscribers. Been doing it since 2018, so it's a slow process. It is what it is. Thank you. Hope you all have a good day.